All right, Algebra 1, week 3. Exciting. Hopefully you found out there's no quiz for week 2 because we're map testing. So that means the week 2 material and the week 3 material will all be on the quiz week 3. All right. So next week. Make sure you know it. All right. And so in week 3, we are going to dive into linear equations. Linear, well, actually, I shouldn't say linear equations. I should say linear functions. All right, where we have x and a y, a slope, and a y-intercept. Okay, so we have x and a y, and that should remind you of the x and y axis, right? So let's start out with some solutions. So here in this one right here, we have a linear equation with the x and the y, and we want to know which ordered pair is a solution. All we got to do that is we got to substitute. So that first number is x, second number is y. So we substitute -3 times 2 in for x. See, I'm looking right here. 4 times 5 going in for y. And then we want to see if it equals 14. So that would be -6 plus 20. Hey, that is 14. So that works, but we also got to try 4, 6. So it's possible that we get multiple solutions. So let's try -3, 4 plus 4, 6. That'd be -12 plus 24, and that is +12. So the answer for this one, it appears, is A, although sometimes they might both work. All right, now a different way of asking a question about the same sort of thing is they give you an x value and ask you what is the y value. So for this, we're going to substitute in what we know. We know that x is 3, so I'm going to put that in place of the x, 3, and do some calculating. 4 times 3 is 12 minus 9 is 3. So that means that y equals 3 as well. All right, but here, I always like to use the questions to show you, whatever I can. So in this one, I just want you to write above this problem that this is in standard form. All right, so make sure you have standard form in your notes. Ax plus by equals c. Standard form is when the x and the y are both on the left side. Okay, so we see that here, don't we? Now this next one is a very important form. It is called slope intercept form. Of course, we're going to be talking more about these in the weeks to come, but this is y equals mx plus b. Okay, and m is the slope of the line, and b is called the y-intercept. All right, so let's look at the next assignment, and actually it's about slope. Okay, so you see slope should make sense. It's like we go on ski slopes or something like that, and then your slope can be steep, it can be more flat, but the slope is just describing the steepness of a line, right? So here's my stylus, and so I'm rotating the line, and algebraically we say we are changing the slope, and vertically that's called an undefined slope, and horizontally that would be a 0 slope. Write that down. And so why would it be undefined? Why is that fair? Well, it's because the slope is a ratio. So let's write that down. Yeah. All right. Saying a lot of stuff here. The slope what it is a ratio. You should know that a ratio is a fraction comparing two different quantities, right? So it's the ratio of the change in the y coordinates to change in the x coordinates. When we do that, like I said, we're measuring the steepness of the line. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, it's a formula where we do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the slope formula. All right, like I said in the other problem, m represents slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 points so that I can identify. So I can identify this as -3. Well, no, I don't like that because they're the same. It might be difficult for an example, but anyway, they are -3, -3, and here is -2, 0. Okay, this is a better point. I'm going to use this one, -1, 3. So notice I didn't pick every point on this line because they're not all easy to identify. Like, what is this point? I don't know. But so I picked the points where it crosses right through an integer ordered pair. I'm not going to use that one because they're the same. So since this is my example, I want all 4 numbers to be different. Okay, so now I'm going to write over top. I'm going to write x1 over top of this, y1 over top of that. I'll write x2 over top of this, y2 over top of that. And, I could have switched it just as long as one of the points is x2, y2, and one of the points is x1, y1. And now I'm going to substitute those into my formula. Okay, so going down here, so y2 is 0, y1 is 3, x2 is -2, and x1 -1, so minus -1. All right, 0 minus 3 is -3. -2 minus -1, well, I'm going to rewrite that as -2 plus 1, which is -1. -3 divided by -1 is +3. The slope of this line is +3. So let's do that again, and let's see if you can write down the steps from what I'm saying in your own words. We'll write down the steps in class 2. All right, so I'm going to pick 2 integer ordered pairs. Step 1, pick 2 integer ordered pairs. Here I picked 0, -3. And how about -1, 0? All right, label your ordered pairs. x1, y1, x2, y2. Write down the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Substitute in your ordered pairs. y2, -3 minus y1, 0, over x2, 0, minus x1, -1. -3 minus 0 is -3. 0 minus the -1 is 0 plus 1, which is 1. And so this time it's -3. The slope is not always some version of 3 as it is in my examples, but there you go. So negative is sloping down, positive it's sloping up. And that should be intuitive, right? Positive goes up, negative goes down. All right. Moving right along, we have 2 more assignments here. So graph a line with a slope of -3 that contains the point 4, -2. Okay, so the first thing we can do this. All right, we're going to graph the line. It's going to have a slope of -3. That means it's going to be going down. And we're going to start out. Our first step is going to be putting that point 4, -2 on the line. Man, they cut off my 4 here. 4, -2 must be like right around here. say that this is 4. Okay, and the slope is -3. So what that means is -3, and I'm going to put it over 1, right? So this means we're going to go down 3 and right 1. So, or up 3 and left 1. Okay, so I can't actually go right because I'll be off the graph. So I'm going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and left 1. And I could do it again. 1, 2, 3, and left 1. And you see, we have our straight line. Amazing. And then we just kind of draw it all the way. All right, so this one is a little nicer. Except cut off my 4 again. But anyway, it has a fraction already. So we go up 1 and right 2, or 1 down and 2 left. Okay, but we're going to start at this point here, 4, 3. We'll put a point at 4, 3, approximately right there. And we could go up 1 and right 2, but I'm off the graph, so I'll go down 1 and left 2. Down 1 and left 2. And you can see we get this line, and it has a positive slope of 1/2. All right, so give that assignment a try, post in the organizer about it, and we'll pick up from there in class. Now, last one, slope from a table. So this is easy because they give us 4 pairs, and for our slope formula, you just need 1 pair. So subtracting the y values, and I like to go like this. So how do you get from -4 to -3? You add 1. How do you get from 2 to 5? You add 3. So the slope is 1/3. Done. It's just another way to look at it, but we could also substitute in the formula. So it would be 5 minus 2, right? And then the bottom, -3 minus a -4. And then that's 3. I cannot believe that I put my run over my rise. It's 3/1. I'm glad that I'm doing it another way. Woo. Okay. -3 plus 4 is 1. And so that, ooh, good. Good save, Mr. Field. So it would be 3. Make sure you put, oh, but hey, teachable moment, right? So the slope, we always say in algebra, is rise. That's the change in y over run, or the change in x. All right. So have a great time exploring slope and beginning, linear functions. And post in the organizer 3 times by Wednesday night.